The Civilization variant news you have been waiting for. It's Joan of Arc coming November 14th. They just announced today on the Age of Empires website the brand new civilizations and their variants, as well as a page reveal here for Joan of Arc, which we'll be going through here today. And you can also see, well, they changed some of the names up on these. So maybe they're listening to the community and there was concern with that. But we'll be digging into Joan of Arc here today. And then we've also got a brand new blog post, which I will be going through that discusses, why they did the variants, civilization variants, what they mean, and all of that for those of you might be wondering. So with that, let's dig into Joan of Arc. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, click that button down below. It helps me out. And I'm going to be covering all of the new civilizations as they come out. So what are you waiting for? Joan of Arc is a variant of Age of Empires 4 French civilization, shocker, and available with the Sultans Ascend expansion. That's coming November 14th, by the way, if you haven't marked your calendar. From humble beginnings, Joan of Arc embarks on the journey of a hero, embodies hope for the French people, taking the battlefield, leading the charge by taking several different roles. Across the ages, options to support her army evolve, offering a number of strategic pathways. So it's really going to be based around a hero unit, which is kind of what I thought might be going on with this civilization. In some history, born in 1412, Joan of Arc inspired the French nation to rise against tyranny in their darkest hour. French people looked to Joan as a symbol of courage and strength as she fought alongside and inspired troops to victory. So, heroes coming to Age of Empires 4. Let's see how it's going to work playing as Joan of Arc. Look at that. Okay. Presence on the battlefield is far-reaching, featuring abilities that deal damage, heal allies, and inspire villagers and soldiers alike. So, military and economic things you can do here with Joan. You can progress Joan through 4 levels. What? Veterancy! Alert, veterancy in Age of Empires 4, with each tier offering a new choice that enables Joan of Arc to support her army. Okay, let's see how that works. In the Dark Age, Joan takes the role of a villager who gains experience by constructing buildings and gathering resources. This is really cool. She's going to start off as a villager, not as like a knight. Once level 2 is reached, got enough experience, Joan of Arc must choose her path. Equipped with a sword or bow to fight with, and unlocking several new abilities, which can turn the tides of battle. Okay, from level 2 and on, Joan of Arc gains experience by engaging in combat. By late game, has completed the journey of a hero and is fielding large armies supported by her powerful armies and companions. Very interesting. So, going to go from being a villager to being knight, it sounds like, with some veterancy and aging up, or not aging up, but leveling up. That'll be a very interesting mechanic. That's definitely something we've never seen in Age of Empires 4 before, certainly. So, Joan of Arc's companions at a glance. So these are their units, I assume. Okay, we've got Joan's Champion, an elite melee unit skilled at countering spearmen. The champion's incredible durability makes it an excellent frontline unit at countering spearmen. Okay, that's interesting. Joan's Champion becomes available once Joan reaches level 3 and is stronger when in close proximity. So I'm assuming this is a unit you can train once Joan reaches level 3. Do you train it from her? Much like maybe like the units do for Japan AoE4, or is it going to be trained from a barracks? I don't know. Joan's Rider, a fast light cav unit with exceptional ranged armor. Okay, so we can see that right there. And the Rider charges into battle at Joan's side, ready to run down any crossbowman forces. Rider becomes available once it reaches level 3 and is stronger when in close proximity to Joan. So basically, it's like a counter spearman. Looks like he has some kind of like axe thing. Look at this thing. Look, what is that? Very interesting looking weapon. And then you've got like what? A horseman, right? Some kind of horseman. Okay, Joan of Arc's levels. So there we go. Villager Joan. At level 1, Joan has the basic abilities of gathering, building, and repairing. From these humble beginnings, will pursue the journey of a hero by gaining experience, leveling up, and gaining access to improved combat power and impactful abilities. So it just starts. Can I tower rush with Villager Joan? Is it going to be like really fast at building a tower? That's what we all want to know, right? Cass is probably wondering that right now. So there we have pretty much all of our information. Oh, no, I was like, okay. I was like, what the? That can't be it. I was kind of surprised. Level 2. Joan can choose to become an archer or a woman at arms, our first woman at arms, gaining ability based on this choice. Joan also gains additional abilities such as Divine Restoration, which heals nearby allies for a percentage of their missing health. So archer or man at arms, woman at arms in level 2. Level 3, Joan of Arc mounts a horse for combat while retaining her weapon of choice. Oh, so it could be a bow, I think, if she was an archer. Or a sword, probably, if she's a man at arms or woman at arms. She also chooses her companion units for the rest of the game. So either Joan's riders or champions. Okay, so you choose one or the other is how that's going to work. The selected companion will be summoned via the rally call. There he goes. The ability becomes able to train at keeps. Very interesting. So it'll be summoned via the rally call and available to train at keep. So that's going to be a little bit how you train. So you're going to choose if you want the counter spearman or the counter crossbow. I imagine probably going to go with the horseman, I would imagine, in most situations, but who knows? Oh my gosh, look at this! Joan's got a gun! Joan has got a gun. At level 4, Joan has completed the Journey of a Hero and wields a heavy cannon based on her weapon choice. So I guess not always that. Her rally call ability produces additional units. Joan of Arc companions are upgraded to elite, and she gains a powerful ultimate ability. Oh my gosh, it's a MOBA. AoE4 is turning into a MOBA. We got ultimates. Oh boy. Oh boy. Level 1. Okay, that's it. So there we go. From villager to archer, woman at arms. Then you have either a ranged or melee horseman, knight, whatever you want to call it. And then you've got cannon Joan, as well as, of course, abilities to get these companions you can choose from. So that's going to be Joan of Arc at a glance, the new variant civilization. Now, before we get into the blog post, you can see up here, we've got new information coming, and I can tell you they're going to be releasing updates every week leading up to the launch. So expect to see updates and look for my future videos. We got Juzi's Legacy. So they changed this. This was, honestly, I don't even remember what it was before. It was, the Empire of Jade. So they changed that for the China variant. Or the Dragon's Atri variant. Ayubids, which is going to be the Abbasid variant, which was originally called the Sultan's Army, or the Army of the Sultan or something. So that they changed these two names, probably based off of community outrage. And then, of course, the Byzantines and Japanese, which for some reason there's no flag there yet. But let's go look at this blog post now. So this really digs into the variant civilizations, the methodologies, I guess, or why they decided to design this the way they did. And I think it's going to answer a lot of people's questions, or at least give you insight to, why the developers decided to move this route, whether you agree or disagree. And definitely let me know in the comments below what do you think about these design decisions. Do you like it? Do you support their rationale behind it? And anything is really good to share. Of course, you guys already know November 14th is coming. We've got new campaigns, civilizations, maps, etc. Right? We already knew this information. And then we'll be sharing deeper looks that's included in the expansion. And after hearing feedback, they're starting a deep dive on variant civilizations because everyone's concerned, which are new to both Age of Empires 4 and the Age of Empires franchise as a whole. So yeah, it's a first for Age of Empires, right? We're pairing this deep dive with a look at the Joan of Arc variation civs, so you can learn about how it's constructed and new elements you'll have to play with, allow you to start. Will they all have heroes, I wonder? Let's find out. They say it's the first time doing variant civs, but couldn't you technically say that the USA were a variant civilization of the British in Age of Empires 3? Because definitely was a spin-off of the Brits, I would say. But anyways, what is a variant civilization? A variant civilization is a modified version of a classic civ that you already know and love from the core game. Abbasid, civs you love. They offer new gameplay elements and strategies while keeping the familiarity and identity of the classic civ. So they're not going to change your beloved Abbasid. They're going to give you a spicy Abbasid, or maybe just a different Abbasid to play with, or French, right? Variant civilizations are not designed to replace them, but instead provide an alternative option. Okay, so see if it you're going to get different tools to go into the game with, right? It's going to be the civ you know and love, but maybe it plays a little bit differently. Maybe it's more economic, more military, or maybe they can build rockets. We start with historical inspiration from some elements in the history of the classic civ, and then they build from that. So elements can be single individual, like Joan of Arc, or a philosophy, like the Neo-Confucianism of Zhuzi, or a particular historical group within a broader culture, like the Order of the Dragon. So these are two different, right? Hero, culture, culture, philosophy. Like that's kind of explained. They're hitting a lot of different things with these variant civs. And all these seeds are often small moments we like to explore the what if of keeping that focus throughout the journey through the 4 ages. Joan of Arc historically lived at what would be the early part of the Imperial Age, just as France, we adopting firearms at a large scale, but we feature her across all 4 ages in the variant that bears her name. So that's the hero. We already looked at her hero page a little bit. This builds on some of the historical extensions of the classic civilizations, such as Abbasid and Delhi having full gunpowder, even though those groups never particularly adopted gunpowder en masse. So kind of explaining like, hey, we're taking liberties here, right? It is a game after all, right? It's maybe, some might say it's saved this for Age of Mythology, right? The retelling of history, but who knows? Not everything changes between classic and variant. Many units and buildings are the same, as are the music and historical speech. Each variant has its own list of changes, which might be a new set of landmarks, new units, or revised or wholly new technology or civs. So basically, we might change everything, we might not. It might be some similarities, right? The changes are always significant, however, and remake how the civs play. Players of a parent and variant civ will be making very different choices and pursuing different strategies throughout a match. I want to play, a 2v2 with, the civ and its variant. It would be super fun. Actually, a variant tournament could be fun. You could only have 2v2 teams of civ variants. That'd be quite fun. By the way, let me know if you have an idea for Civilization variant. Throw it down below because I'm always interested what you guys come up with. We know what they're drumming up, but I want to know what would the Delhi variant look like? Why are variant civs being introduced? Why, guys? You can, but why? First and foremost, all civs in Age of Empires, whether the classic variants, are there to deliver excellent and engaging experience to players. The classic civs are there to capture the history of civs over centuries, capturing the evolution of whole cultures and expressing them as a broad gameplay themes, support of art, music, speech, etc. Variant civs take an element of that broad historical sweep and build a fresh game experience around it. So they're really trying to add a new experience to the Age of Empires franchise. The variant civs are also a great opportunity for us to explore gameplay mechanics that push the envelope. Veterancy pushing the envelope in 2023. Ultimates, debatable, but okay, in RTS, sure. Joan of Arc variant civilization, for example, is entirely focused on a hero. Like we just looked at that, transforms for the match. This is not something we have seen in Age of Empires 4 before, and variants allow us to really lean into the mechanics. Okay, so they're trying to push the boundaries of the Age of Empires franchise. Maybe it'll entice a new viewer that maybe didn't like how it was before. Maybe this will bring him in. What was the inspiration for variant civs? History is always the first source of inspiration for Age of Empires team. Always good to hear that too, by the way. But we also looked at our community and how they play the game. Looking at the landscape of play, we saw opportunities for fun RTS experience we haven't explored yet. So they're saying, hey, history's important, but maybe there's some other fun ways we can experience Age of Empires. One example, we realized we had gone into elite units, but not an elite army. What would Age of Empires version of a low unit count army of powerful units look like? Good question. What benefits? Well, look at the Delhi's elephants. What benefits would that provide to players struggling with cognitive load? So maybe having less units to manage, but stronger army. Interesting thought. What awesome gameplay moments could that deliver? From there was born the Order of the Dragon. So there we have it. If you didn't already know, Order of the Dragon is going to be the HRE variant, and they're saying they're going to have a low like not a ton of units, but they're going to be stronger. So they're going to have basically more powerful but smaller army, which is a very interesting civilization variant. But Order of the Dragon is going to be what you're going to be looking for that. But we don't have the page on that quite yet. It'll be coming. Since announcing the variant civs, you've changed 2 of the names. You caved. But why is this? The names for the variant civs are Joan of Arc, variant of the French, the Order of the Dragon, variant of the Holy Roman Empire, Zhuzi's Legacy, variant of the Chinese, and Ayyubids, variant of the Abbasid. Ayyubid, Abbasid, potato. So they did change 2 of these. Naming things is difficult. We need to balance historicity? I gotta Google that one while trying to represent what is unique about a civilization. We talk a lot about names. We try out options. We consult with experts. We test and reflect, but sometimes we miss things or get things wrong. It really props up. And you gotta give him credit. admit, like, maybe they got this wrong. Maybe the community got something right. Some members of our community raised concerns, names we needlessly vague and needlessly exoticizing. Royal Judge and Real take concerns very seriously, and after discussion, consultation with experts, we have decided to make changes. We don't always get things right, but we are listening and always learning, and we appreciate your sharing your thoughts with us. Your voices are a part of our development process, and we'll continue to hear them. This is a very interesting statement. Did the developers cave to the Redditors? Everybody complains about people molding on Reddit, but were the molders right? Did they cede their ground here, give up the high ground? I think it's good to work with the community. There's a certain balance, right? You can't have everything designed by the community. But they're listening, and it's always a good thing for a game that you invest so much time in to know that they're listening to the community. So really cool to hear that they're changing some of the names. Let me know what you think about those name changes. And that's pretty much going to be it. They're going to be doing weekly updates, guys, and I'll be uploading them first here. So boy, oh boy, am I excited. We've got our first civilization variant. It's going to be the French variant, Joan of Arc, and then we've got our upcoming. I don't know if it'll be in this order. I wonder if we'll get the China variant next. It'll be interesting to see what's coming. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope to see you in the next one. See you next time.